back because I moved it.
I just broke a blood vessel in. Okay. Okay, we are live, and look who's here, everyone. It's Cindy.
Good morning.
Good time, Good Friday person to have come visit us at Memory Bound, and she is going to show us how to make some amazing pieces of ephemera out of, seriously, Cindy, one sheet of paper.
4 different pieces of ephemera from one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock, double-sided cardstock.
Well, the other thing is that Cindy's using the beautiful 49 and Market Christmas Spectacular. I think that might be our latest Christmas collection. Well, we just got some other ones that just arrived, but that was one of our most recent 2023 Christmas collections. And Cindy, while people are joining us, I'm just going to come over this way and show them a little bit of this collection. And you can see it's really beautiful. Katie Petit and Janine M. did a beautiful job on this collection, and we do have it all. And it does have ephemera with it, but today Cindy's going to show you how to take the paper and you can make your own ephemera. And then, you know what, use your imagination, and you can take other papers, and she's got examples to show us, other papers that you can also do the same technique on. And you guys, Cindy was so amazing that she even printed off for us some measurements and directions that we will post on our blog, so that you can take notes if you want, but otherwise you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Doesn't that sound, Cindy, like you might hear that if you're going to a concert or something? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Absolutely.
So, and we have a lot of people that are here on this fine Friday. They say it's raining in Okoboji.
Oh. We saw some dark clouds this morning come through Altoona.
Isn't Okoboji, what do you think, 3 hours from us?
Yeah.
About 3 hours north of here. Mm-hmm. Very fun place, too. So welcome, Okoboji friends. Alicia's here, and Heidi. Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. We've been really busy getting freight in, and if we have time today, we'll look at some new product. Otherwise, we'll show it all on Monday, or maybe we'll have a special video for that. We'll have to see.
Ooh, special videos.
Wouldn't that be fun, Cindy?
I love special videos.
Well, just like the Tim Holtz Halloween.
I can't with it.
Here. Have you seen it yet, Cindy?
Yeah, I can't with it. I'm just like really.
Cindy's a huge Tim Holtz fan. So if you love Tim Holtz, give us a heart or a thumbs up and tell us how much you like Tim Holtz, because his Halloween is here from Stampers Anonymous. Oh, and you know what, Cindy? What? Today he has a video.
Yes.
Probably later this morning about his fabric.
Yes, the Halloween fabrics, which you have a few pieces left of.
I'll show you the fabrics. So today he's talking about his fabrics, and we have a little bit of Halloween left. The Halloween is sold out from our distributor, so we have some packs. We call them crafty cuts, and we have some singles here of that diamond. And then we have a lot of neutrals, and we have one of his canvas fabrics that we still have available in a half yard or a yard if you would like that. And that's new from his collection. And then you guys take a look at all the Christmas fabrics. So we have Christmas, we have a lot of neutrals. We have that music that everybody loves. There's the music, and that is Christmas, but we also have the dictionary. Kind of looks like dictionary newsprint. So we've got the Tim Holtz fabrics here in stock, and we're just waiting for his video. But in the meantime, instead of Tim, we have Cindy today.
Ooh,
and you guys,
that's a hard act to follow. I can't even speak it.
Cindy's been here quite a few times. She's taught a virtual class for us, and her style is well loved by all of you. So give us a thumbs up or a heart if you remember previous visits from Cindy, or if you took her class. You had that amazing Christmas folio class.
Yes, last year.
Where people dyed their own paper and made a really wonderful album.
Yeah. So
wait, you've had 2.
Yep.
Because you had the one where they dyed their paper, which was, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago, and then you had the one with the file folder. The first one? I don't remember what the first one was made with.
With the file, one file folder, and you folded it up and
Yeah,
used it
it
as
was
the
really
base
cool.
and the pockets, and yeah,
Yes.
that one was.
Okay,
that one was
Anna's
cool.
asking about a question for a paper. So before we get to
You bet.
Cindy, we're going to come back over this way. And we do have a paper from 49 and Market Holiday Wishes that we have printed a quote in. Just remember, the true spirit of Christmas lies in your heart. And that was said by Santa Claus in the Polar Express. And special thank you to Teresa for the inspiration. And we have these available. And let me just tell you how much it is. It's $2.99. So if you would like to get that, I think Janet can probably post it. Or maybe if you type in "just remember," it should pop up. Okay, Darla has been making, oh my gosh, Cindy. Okay, Darla just reminded me. There's also your ephemera folders.
Oh, my folios.
Your
Yeah.
folios, and Darla's made several of those, so you should feel really good about inspiring people.
That's so sweet. Thank you
and
so
lots
much.
of hearts came through and thumbs up. I think a lot of people, they know our Cindy, I think.
Well, thank
and
you.
Diane made me one of those folios for ephemera. That
I have another.
huge
There's
gift.
another folio that's a light. That's where I have my Halloween ephemera. I don't have much of it, but what I do, and you make it out of 12 by 12 sheets of cardstock, and you fold it in half, and then you actually glue them together like a book, and it's kind of cute.
Well, we might have to check that out. We're going to have Cindy back. I know you're all going to want to have her come back. Okay, Shannon's going to be at the store this weekend. Oh,
Excellent.
She's coming from Virginia.
Girl, where at?
So,
I have family in Virginia. Find out.
We'll have to find out where she's at. She's been on, she's like a traveling nurse, but I don't think she's a nurse.
Okay.
Yes, the ephemera folios. OSHA remembers that. They say, glad to see Cindy again.
Aw,
So,
you all
and
are
Cindy
so
has a
kind.
full-time job, so I don't know, did you have today off for something special?
I took a vacation day.
Oh,
to come
wow.
in- to
Oh
come
my
in and
gosh,
do
you
this.
guys. Cindy's on vacation.
Whoop whoop.
She's in Newport News, Virginia.
Oh yes, I have
you
family.
familiar with that?
I have family in Richmond, and I've gone to Virginia Beach, Newport News. Love the Eastern Shore. Love the Eastern Shore, and then we go down to North Carolina, down to the Outer Banks that way. So, yeah, I know where you're from. Oh yeah, girl, come on down. We'll have all these
She's
samples.
from here, and now she's coming. So she's coming back for
Yeah.
a visit or whatever.
Perfect.
And I will tell you also that Dana is visiting her dad in her hometown near Richlands, Virginia.
Oh, awesome.
So
Excellent. And all the pieces, these ephemera pieces that I make, today I will leave at the store. So if you're in the store, stop in, take a look at them. Sometimes it's easier to actually pick it up and look at it and feel it and go, oh, that's what she meant. So
I think that does make sense. And Cindy also, Susie just reminded me, it was your Halloween folio last year.
Oh, okay.
So she made it and she loved it.
Oh,
and
good.
It
I'm
was
so glad.
because it used the Simple Stories,
Yes.
Simple Vintage 31.
Oh, yes.
It's coming back to me. Things ooze in. I don't know
Yep.
if that happens to other people. But
Oh no, and I think, and it had the, I did it for Halloween, and I had the chipboard layers.
Yeah, on the cover.
Yep, the viewfinder reels on the covers, and there were 4 different ones.
and if you were lucky
Yeah.
enough to do that, you were lucky because those sold out and we could not get any more.
Yeah.
So we had to limit the class a little bit.
Yeah, so thank you for the
Okay.
reminder.
Yeah, well, me too.
'Cause I had done it-
reminding me too.
I had done it in Christmas myself
I
as
remember
well.
your Christmas project, though. That's the
Oh,
one that was in
with the black file folder.
Yeah, it took 2 classes
Yes.
to get that done.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Okay.
here we are today. We've reminisced, Cindy. We know my memory's back.
Yay, so is mine.
And now we're going to make ephemera, and it's always a treat when you're here, just because you have such good techniques that, personally, I have never thought of before. So we're looking forward to this.
Well, this is awesome. Yes, I would like to say I created this myself, but I didn't. This idea comes from a gal I watch on YouTube named Corey Dahman. She does creating with scraps, and she showed this, and I went,
Oh.
"This is fantastic! I love this idea." And to be able to use, like I did it in Christmas. I also did. These are just if you're lucky enough to have Tim Holtz 12 by 12 cardstock. These are made out of that, just so you can see the difference. I also did them. I've got a couple of my junk journals that I've made out of the Simple Story, Simple Story, 49 and Market. This one is the Nature Study that I did, and I made journals for my grandkids for when they go on nature hikes. But I used, and it's the same pack. I used the 6x8 pack from the 49 and Market. But here is what they look like for
in use.
In use.
So that is in use right there.
Yeah, in use for the 49 and Market. But just so you see what it looks like in something
that little
different.
Pocket? That's so cute.
In something different. Here's this first one that I'm going to make. That's a flip that goes on the page. Type thing. I have it attached with a paper clip, or excuse me, a binder clip, but you wouldn't have to. And then there's this last one that's this, and I put them on the page as corner pockets, little tucks, and then this is an offcut. So that's what it looks like in
Cindy,
the
what
Nature
do you mean
Study.
by offcut? A scrap?
When you see this, I think it's this one, that we're going to cut it like 5 inches long,
okay.
and this is the 2-inch piece that's left over.
Oh, okay. So we'll learn all about that.
That's my word, what I used. And so then this one is done with the Christmas.
This is the new Christmas Spectacular, and she said she used the 6x8 tablet.
The 6x8 tablet. You get 3 of each of the patterns, and I used 1 of each of the patterns, so you could get 3 journals out of it. And then I used the Ephemera pack. Is that what it is?
So let me grab those. They're right here.
Yep, that one and that one.
So she used this Christmas Spectacular 6x8 collection papers. And she said she could get 3 out of 1 pack.
Flip it around, it'll show which one.
Oh, there we go.
What's in there?
I didn't realize you got 3 of each paper. That's nice for some of us collectors.
Well, and the front cover and the back cover on the inside, which you can't see,
they always print them, don't
are
they?
also an extra paper that's not one of the ones that's in the pack.
And then here's the ephemera bits.
So I just pulled things out, and there is, I forget what, 134 different pieces in here, which I kind of overdid it.
Cindy, how'd you remember 134?
Because I saw it on the back.
I love it.
I'm not going to lie. I can't lie. But
you sounded really intelligent.
Well, thank you.
So that's the ephemera.
Yep. So you could split that up 3 ways, but I just did the cover, made pockets. I made extra. Like a file folder for tags. You get 3 of these tags, and I went ahead and just put eyelets in them. I used one of like these background pieces, and I made a pocket out of it.
So when she says background piece, that's ephemera.
Yes, the piece of ephemera that's in the bag.
There.
Some of these pages, like these pages that you'll see that say date, location, time, some say Christmas time, some say family. I made these myself, and I just printed them off on coffee dyed paper. So, and I've got music in here. I've got a black 6x9 envelope. I used Tim Holtz's, one of his was new a year ago. Actually it's a document. It's supposed to go this way, but I put it on the side, and I've got pieces in there. So there's just different things that are in here. Book page that I stamp on with old stamps. But here's one of the ones that we'll make. So here's a Christmas one, and again, it's a side tuck, and it's just
right. But it's okay. Go back and do that a little slower. So she's attached it to the page, but you don't have to.
Right.
And then I don't know what you call that, kind of a.
This is just kind of like a little document envelope, I guess.
Yeah, but it has a pocket in it.
Right, it's a pocket, and on some of them, and I think it is maybe in the Nature Study one, I actually had some what I call offcuts. So when I've cut this apart, maybe instead of folding this up, I've cut it off. So it's
okay.
an offcut.
And then you stick it in
and
there.
and then I've attached it at the top and then put that little writing spot in there. So that's that. But then I've got, here's another one. Here's this 2-inch piece that I made, just a little tag. These tabs are in the ephemera pack. And there's a whole bunch of different ones in different colors. This is the, there's the family and celebrate. Here's this flip that I've put on here. Again, you could just leave it. You could put it on here with some kind, another piece of just a regular paper clip and have a dangle off of it.
And we're making that today too.
This is one you're making. This one I will show you. There's, like, I've got 4 different ways to attach the paper to it. Again, so that's pardon me, just something I've done. Oh, I want to say the other thing that I used, and you may see, I used the washi tape too as well. And the, I mean, so I've got, there's a whole bunch of stuff. So there's all sorts of different things that I've made. Envelopes.
Another envelope.
Yep, and there's a paper clip here, and here's another one of the pockets.
Just slow down a little bit. So this is a paper clip, and Cindy has shown us how to make those. And I think Dawn did those, and Diane did those. You inspired everybody with those too, Cindy.
This one is a little different than the ones I've made previously, and I've used magnets in them. But this one does have a 2-inch paper clip inside. But it's just something else that I've come across, and something to keep me out of trouble. Those of you who know me, I can hear you laughing out loud.
We don't know if she sleeps or not.
And so here's another pocket. As you can see, I use a lot of them for side tucks. And what I made this out of a black file folder.
Okay, that was the question. They wanted to know how you made your base.
I made this out of a black file folder. This is part of that I cut off, and there are 3/8 inch gussets right here that I folded under to give it a little extra depth so you can put things in it. And then I just attached it. As you can see, I do a lot of sewing on mine. That's optional. You don't have to. And it looks great. I mean, look at these down below. These look great, not sewn. So
you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy.
Cindy, they're asking about your font on the inside, and it looks like pharmacy to me.
It is.
So it is pharmacy.
It's pharmacy.
Find a page. There we go.
Yep, it's pharmacy. That's pharmacy, and this is, it's called Mylandia, I believe. But the larger pieces, this pharmacy, and I think this one is called Mylandia. Just something, this one is pharmacy, definitely.
So
I didn't change
the
that
other
one.
question is, so you started with a black file folder, and are your pages sewn in? It looks like you have signatures.
I have 2 signatures in here, and I actually sewed them in on my sewing machine. And what I did, as you can see right there.
Okay, there's
black.
the middle, so she sewed it down the middle.
Okay, and you can't, I didn't hit the groove, but it's black on black, so you don't see this, right?
So use black thread. If you're using a black file folder, and we do have black file folders if you want to get some and
the other
give this a try.
The other one I did, the nature study, is a craft file folder, but it's the same way. I sewed it in with my sewing machine.
So there it kind of shows you the different signatures. She's
But
got 2 signatures.
But you wouldn't have to. You could easily sew those signatures in by hand using a pamphlet stitch.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely. It was just my preference, what I like to do.
So you can see the outside is a file folder, because Cindy and I both agree that there's something about file folder paper. It's dense, or
it's thick enough, but it's not too thick, and it holds up. I mean, think of a file folder. It holds up really, really well, and it's really not too thick. Actually, I think that one's done on a hanging file folder. It looks green inside. You can see it's kind of green.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
And so, but
we love our office products, don't we, Cindy?
Oh, send me to a Home Depot. I'm gone for a while. You know, that I need a Staples easy button. That was easy.
There we go.
But it's just, there's just something about them, the way they hold up. The ones I made for my grandkids are actually the file folders. They're actual file folders.
And if you look at this, it looks like you get your measurements together and you score it so you have a spine.
I use one of these is the original fold from the
Okay.
file folder, and the other one is a half an inch, is the half-inch cut away.
So you have a 1/2 inch spine
Yep.
and measure it the size you want.
Yep.
And then go ahead and you can do your signatures.
So this, I think, I
It's
believe,
really amazing, Cindy. Everyone's loving it.
this is, and I did not cut the papers down, so the papers are 6 by 8, which should tell you the actual file folder. I think I cut it down to 6 1/4, or excuse me, 8 1/4 long. And so then from the fold out is going to be 6 1/4. So you've got 6 1/4 and a 1/2 inch and 6 1/4. So, there's a little math.
13 inches then.
Yeah, there's a little math.
So if you have it cut your file folder 8 1/4 by, what did I say, 13? I've already
I think
forgotten.
so, yeah.
And then go ahead and if you want to round your corners, look at, she did one square and she's got one rounded. So it's a free world. You can do whichever you prefer.
Whatever you like.
And then do your scoring at a 1/2 inch to get your spine. And you have your shell. I'm going to call it a shell. You're
Perfect.
ready to go.
Excellent.
And I think by Cindy putting paper on both sides of the covers, it makes it a little heavier and a little
It's
more
a little,
sturdy.
yep, exactly. And that you make, because you may think, oh, my file folders are a little flimsy. You add that really heavy 49 in market because it's such a nice weight. And you'll see there's a couple tricks that I have because it's a little heavier weight that I find for me work best.
We want to know all your tricks. We want to know them all.
So it does give it that little extra weight, especially for the covers.
And then she got the ephemera and she just added all kinds of like book pages, and she's got some
Ledger
graph
paper,
some
yeah.
ledger, some music pages.
I forgot to
And-
put the composition book paper in there. I had it all sewn in and
You
went,
had it already and
I
forgot
forgot
it."
that. But I wasn't going to take the sewing
it's
apart.
amazing the way it is. So if you're just joining us, you're here on a wonderful Friday because Cindy's back.
Okay.
And she's going to show us how to make some ephemera out of one sheet of 12 by 12 paper. So
four different pieces of ephemera out of one piece of 12 by 12. So I'm going to gather these up.
okay, and we do have. I took pictures of Cindy's dimensions and directions for the ephemera that we're making. We do not have directions for this book, and we kind of gave you the kind of a quick, easy,
Right.
dirty and easy way you can make it yourself.
Right. I just wanted to bring those to show you that it, that you don't have to have Christmas. This would be darling with a black file folder and Halloween, your favorite Halloween.
Yes, I do love Halloween.
It would be so cute. Or, if the holidays aren't your thing, find whatever it is. I know Simple Stories has got some really great, just general, or gardening or whatever it might be. I made one for a friend that's gardening, and they used it to keep track of what they planted where this year in their garden.
I think it's fun, and
so
keep track of the weather and things,
Yeah.
or travel.
Yep.
I think it'd be good for travel.
cute.
I think do one for students' senior year,
Yes.
or if you're
I want to
have a little girls' trip or a weekend trip, or
The thing in the pocket in here, this is what I call a little, it was a document pouch. I saw this from a gal on YouTube as well. It's actually an origami pouch box that that I made, and I made one of these for each of the grandkids to put their treasures in when they go on their nature hike.
Absolutely.
And then you just put that, and that's what I put in this back pocket too.
Cindy, you've done a lot of sewing on these books. Do you have any tips on sewing? I know you helped me one time.
Yes. Please make sure your sewing machine needle, don't use the same one for your paper as you do for fabric. I use a 90, which I think is a 14, depending on if it's English or if it's like Singer or some of the brands are. But I use a 90. I don't use a jeans needle. I find it makes the hole way too big. But I use a 90, and I have this needle that's strictly for paper. Make your stitches longer. The shorter they are, you're going to make perforated paper.
I think that's what happened to me, and I was asking Cindy what I did wrong, and it was
longer.
perforated.
And you will see there's something on the back that says for my zigzag for my journaling cards I used 3.0 millimeter width Yeah, or 3, and my length was 1.5, and I lined up the edge 10 minutes. So I have all these little notes.
She's got notes. Well, you're sewing. It looks a little neater than some of us. We're just kind of shabby, and we do it to be shabby.
I like it that way, though.
So,
I like shabbies. That's cool. That's great.
Okay, so we on the inside of those pre-made notebooks that are 6 by 8. Sorry, you said, but I missed it. I'm trying to watch. Someone's trying to watch. Janice is watching during her day job, and people keep interrupting her.
How rude.
So what we said was this is a file folder that Cindy cut down to 8 1/4 high, and the width is going to be, 13 inches.
13. So, and the reason I kept that too, and then the papers are just 8.5 by 11. That's the size, and they're just folded in half. But I cut them so they're 5.5 across. But they're only 8 long, so I cut a half inch off.
Cut them off so that they fit in. So really, if you get your file folders, and we have orange, yellow, purple, green, blue, white.
All sorts of colors.
We even have manila, and they come in sets of 3. And Janet can put a link. I don't know how much they are. They're maybe like $2.50 or something. And then she used one of the score lines. Was the natural score line of the file folder, and then she scored 1/2 inch over.
Yep, you can see there's a manufacturer's score that's right here. You can see that. So one of them is the way the file folder comes already folded, and then there's how they usually have 2 maybe 3 manufacturer's scores. I used whichever one comes at about 1/2 inch is what I used for the other one.
Okay. And I would be happy to show that next week on a quick little thing about how to cut your file folders.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, wow. Cindy,
all right.
I think you're a success. They love it already. We haven't even done anything.
I know, right? So one of the things about 49 and Market that I think is just so much fun is their branding strips on their papers. They have some really great ones. So
you and Maggie.
I use them for things. So we're going to start with, and we're going to use the paper today that is kind of some of the different foliage. So it's got some fern, and it's got some holly and berries and some stamps and all that type of thing on one side.
What's that one called?
It is called yes, it's called Postmark. And then it's got the vertical stripe on the back, and the branding strip looks like black lace. I'm like, stop. Really? That is so cute.
That is neat.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut off the branding strip, and we're going to make this 12 by 12. So it needs to be 12 by 12 square for these measurements that I'm going to give you. Okay? So that's the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut off the branding strip, hang on to it, reuse it. All right? So the next thing you have to be aware of is if your paper is directional. That can throw some people off, and it does to me, depending on what it is. This one, and if you don't care, just give it give it a 90-degree turn and use it that way, because it doesn't matter. Okay, but if you're working with this and you really, some of the pieces that we're going to do, we can't avoid the direction being upside down. But some of the pieces, there are some little tricks to make it so all your directions are the same and things show up like they're supposed to.
So if you're really super picky, don't use a directional paper.
Yeah. Or just be aware that, probably 90% of it, the directions are going to be fine, but some
Cindy,
of it might not.
I think everything you showed us, nobody noticed. It all looked amazing, whether it was directional or not. I think we loved it.
So I'm going to put this to the side.
And just a little squirrel moment, Janet did find Cindy's paperclip, calling it Cindy's paperclip video.
Gosh. Really?
Yeah, so she's got a link there.
Awesome.
So if you want to look at that later, you can always, I don't think you want to leave this video to look at it, but she's got a link there so everybody can find it.
Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Well, not quite. I have some cheat sheets on here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your 12 by 12 sheets, and then you're going to cut it in 3-inch sections. So you're going to have 4 sections that are 3 inches across and 12 inches long. Okay, they're all the same. They all start out the same dimension, 3 by 12. All right. So the first one that we're going to do is the page flip. This is one that I did with I forget which one it's called, but it's got the stripe on the back. Okay, and what we're going to do.
Okay, so what Cindy means is she actually, here it is. Yeah. It's this one. She's made them up in some of the other papers from 49 and Market. Like this is called vignettes.
Yes.
And the back is this fun
stripe,
but not a perfect stripe. That's why I love it. It's got a little watermark there. Where
love that.
They spilled something on it.
Yep. So just so you know, I know Kelly's got all of the papers.
Here it is in her book.
That's my favorite one.
Is it called a flip because you flip it over another page?
Yes.
Okay, here's the back of it.
And that's actually upside down, guys.
The
back the back page, the back part of it. The front is the right, but that's actually the top of the paper.
And we don't really care, but just so you know, it's okay.
Right?
It's okay.
So this is the first one we're going to make. And then the second one is this like a little, see? Ooh, same one. Only I used the striped side out instead of the fern side out. Okay, that's the second one. The third one is this piece right here, where it's a pocket, and you've got this little offcut.
So you're going to learn how to make all these goodies that Cindy puts in her junk journal.
And this is the fourth piece. You're going to see
Another
is this
little
one.
Pocket.
A little pocket with a little writing spot. So,
and we're going to learn how to make all of those.
All right. So I got to get moving.
No, I just was looking. No, we're doing great, Cindy.
Are we? Okay. Great. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to, and you'll see I've got my little cheat sticky notes on here. Is on the first one we're going to do, especially if it's directional. You need to remember, or you need to be thinking, what is going to be my point? What's going to be your point? Because that's going to be the bottom. If I'm looking at this is the top and this is the bottom. This point is like this. Okay?
So
to kind of give you a visual, this point, so you can see as this is going to be on the page, this part is going to be upside down.
So Cindy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ring the bell.
Yep.
Hey Doug, can you get us the arm? Can you get us the arm?
Anyway,
so that it's right side up for people viewing. We're gonna get our holder.
Okay.
And we'll put the camera in a holder,
okay.
And then you don't have to work upside down.
Well, so just so you can see, this is the point. So this is what the piece of ephemera looks like, right?
So the bottom right corner is going to be your top right corner. It's going to be your point.
Right, and it can be either direction. It can be this way. It can be the other way. And I've done them both ways. It doesn't matter which diagonal you use. It doesn't matter. I just happen to do it this way. But and then you'll see as it goes on the paper is upside down.
So then the back is upside down.
But to me, I don't care. It's fine. I'm okay with that. So what we're going to do first, and here he comes, ta-da!
So what we're going to do, everyone, just hang tight. We're going to put the camera in the holder so that you can see everything going in the right direction. And Cindy doesn't have to try to figure out
how to work upside down.
How to work upside down. This is stuff that I think we want to see going right side up. And this is stuff we don't want Cindy to have to try to figure out. This isn't anything I would want to do upside down, Cindy.
That's okay. You know what? We've worked without a net before. It's all good. We'll figure it out.
Yes,
it's all okay.
Okay, so we have right now. Your view is just right here is the end. So
okay.
That should be good for you.
Okay, perfect. So I'll just remember. So I'm going to be using a scoreboard. For most of this, you're going to need a scoreboard or something that you can measure and score with. If you don't have a scoreboard, that's fine. Take a ruler, measure it out. You can take a bone folder or some kind of scoring tool, and you can do it that way. You don't need all these tools. It just makes it easier and more helpful for me. So I'm going to use my 12-inch, actually I think it's 12.5-inch scoreboard. And I'm also going to be using my Fisker's paper cutter.
Oh, that's Janet's cutter too that she loves.
Yep. So, and I'm left-handed, so my little piece is down on the bottom. Again, I've learned to do things upside down and backwards. So, but what we're going to do first.
Oh, that's right. You're left. I forgot you're left-handed.
Oh yeah. So lefties out there, unite.
We definitely don't want to work upside down then.
Well, no, not well. But then it might be correct for your right-handed people.
Turn it around for us.
So,
that's funny.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and the bottom, again, the bottom is the place where I'm going to score, where I'm going to have my point.
Let me get to the bottom.
Okay, so the bottom of the page. If it's directional, you've got the top. If it's non-directional, then it really doesn't matter. But you're going to want to understand, because we're going to score 7.5 inches from the top down. Okay, so that's this score right here. So 7.5 inches from the top down. So I'm going to turn this, I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to turn this so the top of my piece of paper is to the left, and I'm going to take.
You have some lefty fans, Cindy.
Yay, we're all in
Yay
our right
lefties.
minds. We're all in our right minds.
Oh my gosh, I haven't heard that before.
It was left-handed day, guys, but about a month ago maybe. Anyway, so we're going to score.
Jeez.
I know, I digress. So we're going to score 7.5 inches from the top. Now remember, this is really heavy duty cardstock. 49 and Markets are very heavy duty cardstock, okay? So you want to make sure you get a good score in there. If your cardstock isn't as heavy, be very careful so you don't press too hard and rip. Trust me, been there, done that. Rip your score piece, and also remember, when you're scoring a valley, so the piece that's going to be like a valley, that's what you're scoring. So a valley will become a mountain, and a mountain will become a valley. Okay? So I always, in this particular instance, the side I want to show, my pretty side, or the side I want to show, is going to be up, and I'm going to score 7.5 inches from the top edge. And then to get the diagonal, again, it doesn't matter whether you're going from bottom right to top left or bottom left to top right. You're going to score that diagonal. It's 3 inches from the bottom. So in this particular instance, since I did this one from the bottom right, I'm going to go bottom left, just so you can see that it doesn't matter. Okay, and it's 3 inches. So I'm going to take my pencil, which I have right here. Excuse me. And I'm just going to make a mark, just a pencil mark. This way I can erase it. From the bottom, I'm just going to put like a little pencil mark here at 3 inches and a little pencil mark here. And the reason it's 3 inches, you go up 3 inches, is because your piece is 3 inches wide. If you figure these and calculate this out for a smaller pieces of paper, you're going to want to calculate out however wide your piece is, that's how far you're going to go up to make this diagonal fold. Okay, so, and the reason I do a pencil is because I get in here with my on my scoreboard, and I line my pencil marks up, and I think I made them so light I couldn't see where they were. No laughing, people.
It happens.
Oh goodness.
See, now it's good for us to see that happen, Cindy.
Oh yeah. That's my life right there. So I'm gonna score, because I know where my 3 inches are. I'm gonna put it here, and I want to make sure it's at the right. No, where's my 3? See, I did it again.
Did you lose it again?
Yep. Oh, it is that mark. Okay. So actually, what I'll do, is I'll put. See, I got to do this right-handed. I have to do this kind of backwards, and I am so sorry.
No, you're fine. And I know it's nice to do the measuring. Dawn suggested you could fold one over to the other, but I know with the thick paper, is that why you're...
Yes, that's why measured
So
and did it.
Maybe if you have a thinner paper, you could take Dawn's idea and just give it a fold.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to. You don't necessarily have to use a scoreboard for this piece, but because, as Kelly said, this is so thick, I want to use the scoreboard. And yes, I have done this and mishit my marks, and I have all these scores. So I'm just going to go from my 3-inch mark. Yay, I got it. All right, perfect. Down to the corner. Okay, so I'm going to pull this down. So we've got that. Again, your valley is going to be a mountain. So I've got this piece scored. So I'm going to put this off to the side. And the first thing I'm going to do is score on my fold and see if it lines up. And it does. Yay! I'm going to take my, I just lost what it was. My burnishing tool that I use for my folds. You want to make sure your sides are lined up. And sometimes you can kind of scooch them and play with them a little bit. And you're just going to burnish it down.
Cindy, are you using the Teflon bone folder? Okay.
Yep, the bone folder, yep.
Our scoring tool or whatever.
Yes.
And we do have the Teflon. It's from Tonic Studios. It's $19.99.
It's worth every penny, guys. I'm serious.
So you like it better than the regular
I
ones?
do, because, and you're going to laugh, on darker, for me, on darker, like when I'm folding like black and that type of thing, sometimes you'll get a sheen. This doesn't leave the sheen.
Right, the Teflon. It costs more, but that's
it's
why.
It's worth it for me. So, all right, so I've gotten see, I did a different one. I did it on the other way.
It up.
Okay.
Gotta love that.
What we're going to do now, and then I'm just going to fold over the area that we scored at 7.5 inches. So that's done. This is going to create a pocket. So what I'm going to do, and you can use glue. I'm going to use 1/8-inch score tape, just because, again, this is heavier cardstock. And sometimes I'll glue and use 1/8-inch score tape, but just make sure that your glue give it time to definitely set. Now, if you're going to ink, and I'm not going to ink these, as you can see, I'm an ink girl. I like to distress.
It's nice to see
and
the
ink.
difference.
I'm not going to ink these, but if you do, make sure you're inking the top of the pocket, because you're not going to adhere this top side down, because it's going to become a pocket. Okay, for whatever. I just have some little tags that I made from scrap pieces. So ink that first. Trust me, it'll be easier. And then all we're going to do is it happens to be the bottom edge. I'm just going to take some 1/8-inch score tape. 1/8-inch score tape is really easy to work with for me, because you don't need, and sometimes when I'm working, and again, if I'm making 4 of these, I'm doing some assembly line. So I know which end to score or which end to tape. If I'm doing a whole bunch of them, I'll put a paper clip there.
Oh yeah, then you can just keep going.
So I know, because I've put it here before, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, now I just closed my pocket. So what I'm going to do is just take this, put it across, and I can tear 1/8-inch score tape. It's easy for me just to take and tear it with my fingers.
Well, it's funny, because that's not where I thought the tape should go, but now I see that is where it goes.
Right, and then I'm just going to take this, put it down.
And you got a cute little pocket.
And now you've got a pocket where you could put little pieces of paper, you could put other little pieces of ephemera, whatever it is you want to do, okay? And then on the inside, I'm going to take some coffee dye paper that I have. Yes, it's longer than the sheet, that's fine, so are these. I'm just going to fold that up. And I'm going to attach it. We're going to use the tiny attacher. Tim Holtz's,
something different. We love the tiny
Tim
attacher.
Holtz's tiny attacher. That's what I'm going to use to adhere the paper. You can sew them on. This one is the tiny attacher. That's how I did it. This one is put on with brads. This one is put on with eyelets. And then the one in my book, I actually sewed with the sewing machine. Are we in frame?
We're in frame, but maybe we could kind of go like this, just to
you
show
bet.
it up close.
So this is the one we'll do. We'll use the tiny attacher. And this is how I stapled them across, because of how you have to put this in, what you have for your depth, your throat depth for your stapler. This one is just brads, and they're just, as you can see, across the back. If you want to, you could put a part of that branding strip across the back if you wanted to cover these.
Sure, that's
you
a good
could
idea.
put washi tape across the back so these don't catch, whatever you want to do. Okay? This is eyelets. All right, I just put, and these are the tinier 1/8, eyelets. These are the tinier ones. Again, you could do the same thing if you wanted to cover these on the back with another little piece of cardstock or some washi tape. And then this one I sewed with my sewing machine. So you have some different options.
And Cindy, there's a quick unrelated question, but we'll just answer it real quick.
Absolutely.
Sorry, the comment has gone past my screen now, but we do not have the metal baker's trays any longer. So someone was asking if we still have those, and we do no longer have them. Does that make sense?
I meant what you knew.
Sorry about that.
I meant what you knew. So perfect. So we're going to just take, and this is just, I've got, I think, 4 pieces. You can put as many, you know, you don't want probably more than 4, but you want to put 1, that's fine, because I did one on this Tim Holtz one. I just used 1 piece of paper and glued it. That's another way you could put it on here. You don't have to have a whole stack. It's just what I did and what I made it.
I love seeing all the ideas.
Okay.
I'm so happy you're showing us so many different ways to do the same thing, and we're learning a lot, Cindy.
You know, not everybody has a sewing machine or likes to sew or wants to. You could sew it by hand if you wanted to sew. You could do it by hand as well. I mean, just, you know, you did a running stitch. So what I did, here's the fold. Okay. I'm just going, I'm eyeballing this, guys, seriously. It's maybe an 1/8 of an inch or so, and maybe 1/4 of an inch from either side. Just kind of center it. It's not rocket science. It doesn't matter. I'm serious, guys.
Very true.
I'm serious. And then I just went in with my tiny attacher. And yes, I can do things ambidextrous. It's hysterical on some things, but, and I did, sorry, my arm was in the way. I just did kind of some X's, and I think I could only get in here one way, and I just attached them. And then all I did was take this, folded it up from the bottom. Number 1
got one done.
is done.
Okay, so like this. And so the question is the measurement of the inside paper. Is it like 3? We know it's 3 inches wide. So
this is about 2 3/4, and whatever I had long, 8.5, because it was an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So just, you know,
good questions.
Little less than the sides. It can, again, whatever you want it to be, it's fine. And then so number 1. See, I was going to turn it around.
I know.
Number 1.
We're used to doing things upside down.
Is done.
Cindy, that's amazing.
Okay.
Everybody loves that. You should see the hearts coming through.
Oh, you guys are so great.
They
You're
think
awesome.
It's great.
You're awesome. Thank you so much.
And that was a 3 by 12 strip of pattern paper. And then you can see the back. It's got that beautiful fern on it.
But remember, the back is upside down. But I don't care. I'm fine with that.
Some patterns don't matter.
If you want to cover this with, let's say,
I guess you could cover it.
If you wanted it for a journaling spot, yeah, go for it.
Some pictures on there.
Yeah, whatever you want. If that really bothers you, there are ways to cover that up. So I'm going to move my little tiny attacher. I'm going to put number 1 off to the side, and now we're going to start with number 2. And number 2 is going to be this little flip document thing. And actually, you can see this is the same paper. But I'm going to use the stripe side.
Oh, good, good. Change it up a little bit.
Which you can do, or you can make them all the same. It doesn't matter, whatever you like. Yes, my stripes match. Yes, that's a thing of mine. trust me.
But they would match if you're folding them.
Well, you would if you
Cindy's
and
a
if you
sewer.
fold, yeah, and if you fold, they should match up. But that's just my gig. All right, so that's number 2. So what we're going to do again, it's 3 inches by 12 inches. All right, we're going to take my scoreboard, and the top here is the top. All right, so this is
the top is
this
the
is
top.
this is going to fold down. So this is going to fold like that. All right, so with thinner paper, you can kind of pre-fold it and go, okay, I like the way that looks. I don't like the way that looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this side of my paper, and I'm going to take my folder, and I'm going to take my first mark at 1 1/4 inches. Do it 1 1/4. Remember, valleys become mountains, mountains become valleys. So then I'm going to do 6 3/4. Okay, so those 2 marks are this fold, the flap, and this fold. Now I think on Kelly's directions that she's going to have, I think it says it's 7 inches. I changed it up because I like it more at 6 3/4. It's just, otherwise it makes this another 1/4 inch longer. It makes this shorter. So it was just my preference. So those are those 2 folds. This fold here, what I'm going to do, because again, we want the valley, we want this to be the valley. So remember, mountains become valleys. I'm going to flip this over to the wrong side, and I'm going to go from the bottom end. I'm going to go 3 5/8 inches up, 3 5/8 inches up, or total, it's going to be 8. It might be easier from the top, 8 3/8. 1.
So
1,
Cindy,
2,
on the
3.
sheet that I took a picture of that we're going to post, are these score lines? Are the score lines marked on there?
Yep, they are.
Okay, all
They're dashes.
So you can make notes if you want, but we also, she was so kind, she has a picture that we are able to,
Yep.
or a sheet that she drew out on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And I did take a picture of it, and Janet will include it in our blog post.
Perfect. So we've got on the right side, the side you want showing, I've got 1 1/4. I've got 6 3/4. I flipped it over, and I scored it at 8 3/8. All right. So now we're going to fold, and I'm just going to fold these over. Whoop, wrong way. Cindy, valleys become mountains.
Cindy. And there's your Teflon.
In my folder, and I do, again, this is heavy duty cardstock. I'm going to burnish it on both sides really well, and I'm going to fold down the 6 3/4 one again this way, and this one is going to come down this way and become that pocket. Now, I rounded my corners. This is optional. I like the way it looks. So I used the hat on the We Are memory keepers on that corner rounder. I used the 1/2 inch is what I used to round these corners. Okay.
And we do have that tool. It's $36.99, and it's the one that Katie uses. And I think the thing about this one is the corner chomper will cut through really heavy materials. She could probably chomp through multiple sheets at once. Not in this case, because you're doing one at a time.
Right.
But you could also use your regular corner rounder if you have
Absolutely.
that one.
And actually the tiny one, this 4 millimeter one, I've actually used on some of the smaller ones. But yeah, you could, if you had this, it would work the same. You would just use the larger one for this larger corner, if that's what you like.
Perfect.
Or if you want to use the 1/4 inch or the medium one.
You can do whatever.
Whatever makes you happy, or leave it.
Cindy, we also have the slant edge
Ooh.
punch now from We Are Makers, and it's been really popular. And Chris used it on a corner, kind of like what you're doing, and it looked pretty cool.
Awesome. Or you don't have to do it at all.
Well, there you go.
You can just leave them. You can do, okay, now you're going to see this one is the 7 inches. This one is the 6 1/4.
Okay.
And there's not a lot of overhang for me to add overlap for me to add my Velcro piece, which is how I keep this closed. Okay, so this is, so you can see the difference. This is the dimension that you'll see on the piece of paper, although it may show up very faint above the 7 inches. It may say 6 3/4. That's what I'm working with now, and that's just what I prefer.
She changed her design. She updated.
Yeah, so what we're, again, with inking, make sure you ink all your edges first, because it's easier, especially this piece that's going to be your top of your pocket on the inside. It's hard to get in there and ink them after it's done. So again, this one I'll show you what I'll use. Instead of doing 1/8 inch score tape, I'll show you how I would use my Barely Art glue. This is my personal favorite glue. I go through this all the time. I love it. It is water-based, but I don't find it wrinkles my paper.
Cindy actually got memory bound, started carrying the Barely Art. She brought us a bottle even. She's so sweet.
Oh.
And so we do carry the mini. That's the regular size.
This is the regular size. Yep, and the mini.
And we have the regular, and it's $16.99, and they come with the tip, which I think is really cool.
Yep.
And if you wanted to try it, if you weren't really sure, you could get the mini.
Yep, and it's about, it's 2 ounces, so half this size. Perfect for a little, I want to see, I was just looking at the bottle. Here's a 2 ounce bottle of ink cleaner, but just to kind of see the difference, measure. But if you wanted to try it or get the mini to take for crafting classes or whatever to have, so you have
travel bottle.
Yep, there you go.
And they do come with the tip, tip cap and the tip kit, or you can get the Big Daddy, which you get a refill.
Yep, and this is my same, but I've had this same bottle for probably 4 years, 3 years, 4 years. I just keep refilling it. So anyway, so my Barely Art glue.
And Donna loves Barely Art.
Oh, excellent. So. I'm so glad to hear that. You just need a little, just a little fine bead of glue along the edge. Again, you don't want to have it seep in, because that's going to take away. And just along those, remember, so it's the pocket. It's this pocket, this piece here. So whatever that depth is, about 1 inch and 5/8, inch and 3/4, something like that. And you're going to fold this up, and you're going to burnish it down again. I forgot my
we just wipe it under the table.
Okay, it works. And then you can erase it off. And then you're going to burnish it in. Sometimes I find when I'm working with glue with this heavier paper, I'll even take binder clips and hold them down.
Oh, good idea, Cindy.
Just to give it a minute and let it really grab.
Oshra and Donna both love Barely Art glue.
Oh, I'm so glad.
So I'm really glad that you got us started with it.
Excuse me. I mean, there are a lot of great glues out there. Nuvo has a glue. I think Diane really likes Nuvo.
Art glitter glue.
Glitter glue. There's all sorts of different ones. When you find the one that you like, that's your jam, you'll go, oh yeah, this is the one I like. So yeah, I've tried them. So okay, so that's probably good enough. And so now you've got this pocket, and you can see, here it is, pocket, pocket, pocket. You can put all sorts of other little pieces of ephemera or whatever. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a Velcro. These are self-adhesive Velcro dots. They are clear, although the soft fuzzy side looks white. And I put the soft fuzzy side on the top. I put the clear, rougher side on the bottom. Top, bottom. It's hard to describe which way it is. And what I'll do is I'll just kind of look. And don't ask me what the measurements are. I don't know. I just kind of look and see.
Just eyeball it.
I just kind of eyeball it, and because what I'll do is I'll go, okay, well this is kind of in the middle, and this is kind of where I want it. So I might do the bottom one first.
And we carry the oh my God, the Velcro dots.
Yep.
My mind went blank. We are out we carry the 5/8. This is the 3/8. We're
Yep.
out of them for some reason. They're coming. They'll probably be here probably Wednesday, and we are ordering the 3/8. So if you like this
smaller
little
size
and they're clear, we will be having some of those also. So if you would like to get some of those, you can let us know, and we can contact you when they arrive.
Perfect. So as you can see, it's just sticking to my finger. I'm going to put this down here first. Now, if I was at home, I'd get my Tim Holtz ruler out and I'd center it up, and I'm just going to eyeball it, and it's going to be fine. And I'm going to put it right there. And then to make it so I can get it exactly where I want it on the other side, I'm going to take the other piece, and I'm going to adhere the Velcro pieces together, and then I'm going to press it down. And now it's stuck.
That's so fun. That's
and my stripes matched up. Woohoo! Whoop, whoop. It's a win.
I'm kind of a stripe person too, where they either need to match up or they need to be going in the other direction,
or they really need to be off.
Right.
Yeah, for definitely. So this one is ephemera piece number 2. So we've got the top flap. We've got this little pocket. 1 and 2. Now we're going to move on to number 3.
Number 3. Diane's going to be really jealous that she's not here, Cindy, because this is right up her alley. She loves to make little things like this.
So number 3 is going to be this. It's 5 inches. It ends up being 5 inches long by the 3 inches across. So we're going to start with our piece. Move this off to the side. So we've got our piece of 3 by 12 cardstock. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our paper trimmer and we're going to cut it so you have 2 pieces that are 3 by 5. So we're going to cut 5 inches.
Do you always cut upside down then?
Because I'm left-handed.
Oh my gosh.
It measures funky. This is just my thing. Yeah. So I have to be, once I find a trimmer that I like, I tend to stick with it. I know they've gotten some really great ones that have come out, and I would love to try them, but because I'm left-handed and the way I have to measure things, it's weird. You should see me quilt. Yes, I'm a quilter. You should see me cut quilts, cut fabric. People laugh at me, but whatever.
Well, I think you got something that works, and that's great.
Well, so I'm going to cut these. So I'm going to do 3 by 5, and I find my trimmer will kind of take some of the heavier cardstock. Yeah. I just take my paper or my bone folder and just kind of
Cindy, mine
smush
does
it
that
out.
Too, but I never thought about flattening it out.
Yeah, I just flatten out.
Like almost a ridge.
Yep, like it bends it into the groove of your cutter. I'm going to cut another one that's 3 by 5. Do the same thing. And this little 2-inch by 3-inch piece, this is what I call an offcut.
Is that a fabric terminology?
Yes.
Is it? Okay. I wondered.
And this piece is this piece.
Oh, cute.
Okay, so that's, again, as you can see, I rounded this corner, and this is that really teeny tiny corner from the We Are corner rounder, 3-hole or the 3 selection punch. That's what that is. So, but since I don't have mine with me, I'm gonna corner round it, and I'm gonna use the 1/4. Oh, I grabbed it a 1/2. Whatever. Okay, so it's gonna be 1/2 inch. I looked at the wrong side. My fault.
That's all right.
No big deal.
I think it looks good.
Okay, so I've got that piece done. I'm going to put these off to the side, because then what we're going to do is, okay, well, which side do I want this to be? Do I want this to be this way? Whichever piece is going to be on top. Do I want it this way? Do I want it this way?
Ooh, I don't know.
You know,
decisions.
It's like, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, as my grandma used to say. But just figure out which one you're going to do, because what's underneath on the right-hand side is what you're going to see. And I love the postmark. I'm kind of into that. So I think I like the green as opposed, because this is vertical, right? Mm-hmm. And I can do, even though it might be upside down, it's going to be down. I'm going to do I like the black? Do I like the green? I like the black. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to do it this way. And we're going to tear about 1 inch off of the right-hand side of the piece that's going to go on top. And I'm not gonna, you can measure if you want, it's fine. If you don't, it's fine too. But here's a tip. If you're not gonna ink, if you pull your, when you're tearing paper, if you pull the side toward you, if you pull that side toward you, you're going to leave this piece that you want to adhere down with a white edge. If you pull it away from you, you're going to have this, you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to pull, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to guess, and I'm going to use this inch, and I'm going to use somewhere between the red and the green. And I'm just going to start pulling and start tearing. I like the look of torn paper. If you don't particularly care for the torn, you could cut it. Seriously, it's fine. And if I were going to cut it, if I were going to make that a straight cut, what I would do is I would punch a divot out with a circle punch.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Just
a little notch.
Yep, just a little notch. So here's this leftover piece. We're going to put that to the side.
I didn't realize you tore that when I saw yours.
So, but it's, you can see the definition really if you have this inked. Okay, that one's hard to see. Let me see if here's one.
So this one's inked, but it's dark.
See?
Oh, there we can see it, yeah.
Okay, and these happen to be the same. I used the same for the front and the back instead of making it different. Okay, I used the same, the backs. I used the same fronts, so it'd be something along this line.
And you guys, Cindy told me this morning that was her favorite paper.
Oh, this is my favorite one to use.
So here's the paper that is, she said, is her favorite paper.
It's my favorite because it doesn't matter. You could turn it, and you know that first flip is this bottom corner, and you could turn it and do it upside down or do it to the side. I love this one. I love this one. So this is how this is going to be. All right, and it's really simple. Now all we're going to do is we're going to glue the top, the bottom, and the long left-hand side, and we're going to make that a pocket. A little bit of glue here, a little bit of glue there. You don't want to use too much because you don't want that glue seeping into your pocket and closing off more than you want. These would also be cute to use if you, maybe not necessarily for journals, put them on scrapbook pages as little pockets, as little tucks. You could do that as well. And then I'm just going to glue this on here, matching up the bottom and the side. This is another thing that if you glue, it kind of gives you some wiggle room time if you don't quite get it. To line up correctly. But yeah, I was telling them, Kelly, these would be cute on, you could use them on a scrapbook page.
Oh, absolutely. I think a lot of this you could use on your scrapbook page, don't you?
Yep. And so here's this. We're going to just burnish those edges down. Here's our little corner, our little piece, our offcut that we used. And now it's just a little pocket. And we're going to put it in there because the stripes are going in a different direction, so you'd be able to see. So this is piece number 3.
3 out of 4. We're heading.
Dun, dun, dun.
I was looking for that one in here, Cindy.
Look in the back. You'll find it. It'll be a corner. It'll feel heavy. The corners, you'll feel...
it's not that one.
Nope, that's 4. That's the next one we're going to do. You'll find it. I know. Sometimes when I start... Okay, there you go.
So here's the one that Cindy did in the first book that we showed you with the same paper. Oh, I like that.
And I just put the tab.
And then you added the ephemera.
I added the ephemera. And I did the same thing. I used the same kind of thing.
She said she liked the postcard.
I did the same. Wow. I did the same. And I did the same
because I want. Place. That's
okay.
Funny.
That's kind of,
You're consistent.
Weird and creepy all at the same time. But again, there you go. So that's number 3. And like I said, the tabs, if you have a tab punch, you can make tabs out of whatever you want, or you can use them from the ephemera pack, what have you.
And Diane and Judy, they both love that paper too. I think there's something about that black plaid that those red poinsettias just jump off the
I know.
page.
I love it. Okay, so the last one we're going to do is going to be this pocket. It's another piece of ephemera. It's a pocket, And I was torn, guys. I was torn. I didn't know because I love the candy canes too.
I'm into candy canes this year, Cindy.
But see, the back shows the candy canes, and if you were just but if you're going to glue this down the paper, you'll never see it. So I was torn between which side do I want to use. But so what I do is there's the pocket we're going to make.
I love. Okay, I'm interrupting, but I love this. This is your favorite paper, right?
Yeah.
But how you made the poinsettia, your pocket, it's like a focal point.
And I'll kind of give you a tip on that. Is I took the page, and then we're going to fold this long edge over because it's going to be 3 inches wide. This ends up being 2.5 inches. You can either cut this off and glue it down, cut it off, use it for something else, throw it away. I folded it over and then used it to hold down my piece of paper that I put on here, and I folded it up as a journaling spot. And then fold it. Again, guys, you're going to look at some of this, you're going to go, okay, that's backwards. Well, remember, I'm left-handed, so I probably did it backwards for y'all. So anyway, and again, this pocket I did not round the corners of. I didn't do number 3 either. I didn't round the corners of the actual pocket, but I am going to round the corners of the insert. So what we're going to do, take number 4. Here's my piece of paper to go on the back. Move that to the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut. Now this is where when you take my favorite paper, you go, okay, I want to cut. They're going to be 3 inches. One's going to be 3 by 5. There's going to be a 3 by 3, which is the pocket, and then this piece is 3 by 4. Okay, so there's going to be 5 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, total of 12. So sometimes I'll cut 5, 4, 3, depending on what I want to show on the pocket. If this is at the top of the page, I would cut my 3 here. So you just play with your papers. So, but what I'm going to do just for simplicity is I'm going to go ahead and just cut the base. Again, if whatever you want to show on that top, couple inches of the base, that's what's going to show here. So
So this isn't folded.
This is cut.
Folded up. It's actually cut. Okay,
this is actually cut. All right. So I'm going to actually cut 5 inches, and then I'm going to cut. Yeah, I'll probably do 3, and then I'll do 4. So I'm going to take my paper trimmer, and I'm going to do
lefty cut.
3 by 5. So this is my back piece.
So Cindy, this is a tip for our lefty friends that try turning your trimmer upside down if you're having trouble with it.
Yeah, so you can see the markings on my trimmer are upside down. And then this one is going to be the 3 inch. So this one's going to be a 3 inch by 3 inch square. Yeah, I like that. But remember too, it's like, okay, well that's 3. Do I like? Oh, that could be interesting.
Cool.
We might. We'll play. We'll play.
Big decisions to be made.
I'm telling you, you don't take them lightly. Okay.
Donna likes your tip about cutting. So Donna, you need to try that. If you're having left-handed cutting woes, give it a try and see if it helps you out.
Exactly.
I've never seen anyone do that, Cindy. And we need to ask Teresa. She's a lefty.
Yep. So what I'm going to do for the 3 by 4 card, I'm going to score. Again, I've got to decide which way I want to do this. Do I want to do... Guys, what do you think? Should I do them all and do the pocket this way? Should I?
What if you do the stripe going horizontal? All your other stripes are vertical.
I've cut.
Your pocket.
Oh, that could be interesting.
What if you do that?
Oh, that could be interesting. Let's try that. Let's do that.
And Cindy, there's a question about why you're burnishing the ends of your cutting paper.
On my cutter, as I'm cutting, there's the recessed edge inside the cutter, where the blade goes, where the blade travels, and I find for 49 in market and thicker Cartabella too. The thicker cardstocks that you can buy, the heavier, they have a tendency to get pushed down into this groove. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking my burnisher, my bone folder, and smoothing out and flattening out that edge that got pushed down into that
and
little
that's
valley.
an aha for me, because I have a very similar trimmer, and they're asking about the trimmer you're using, which is a Jennifer McGuire favorite, and Janet can post a link because it's actually the trimmer Janet uses too.
Yep.
But you have like a ridge on your cut edge, and Cindy, I never thought to burnish it, so I will be doing that from now on.
Yeah, it was driving me crazy one time, so I just took my bone folder and just flattened it out and went, oh, that'll work. Okay. So on the piece that's going to be our little end piece that we're going to put the paper on, I'm going to take my scoreboard and fold this in a 1/2 inch. So we're going to make, this is going to be the top. So again, valleys become mountains, mountains become valleys. I'm going to put this into my bone folder, and I'm going to score this at a 1/2 inch. And I think I'm done with my scoreboard, so I can put that away. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it and I'm going to fold it over, and again burnish it down. And I am going to round my corners. No, I didn't. Okay. And I did on this one inked all the way around, but what I'm going to do is I am going to take and try to get the right one, the 1/4 inch, and I'm going to corner round all the way around, and I want to make sure this is folded, and I'm going to punch that and corner around those. Okay, so now I've got this kind of unusual piece right here. And so what I'm going to do, as you can see on all mine, I sewed them, but we don't have to do that. So I just have my piece of paper for a journaling spot, and it happens to be 3 inches, a little over 3 inches wide, and it happens to be a little over 8 1/4 inches, 8 3/8 inches long, you know, give or take. Perfect. So you're like, well, how do you get that to fit? How do you get it to fit like that? Well, let's see here. It's gonna go in here. So I'm gonna fold it in half.
Cindy, a lot of people love that trimmer, so we have a lot of good
Awesome.
testimonials. So if you're looking for a trimmer,
Perfect.
Janet did put a link to it. It's $44.99.
I love
Fiskars.
it. Love it. And then you're gonna fold it in half again. Oh, it fits.
Surprise!
And
Not a surprise for Cindy.
And then I opened it up, and then I just accordion fold it. So that's how it does that. Okay, so it's just an accordion fold. I'd like to say that was my own creation, but yeah, I can't do that. And then, so what I would do if I was home is I would open this out, I would fold this over and sew along here. We're not going to do that.
Can you just glue it?
Yep, that's exactly what we're going to do. So for those people who aren't sewers, which is cool, that's great. Now it's not everybody's thing. So what I'm going to do just to kind of hold it down and just tack it down, because I will use score tape on it. I'm just going to put a little bead across the top here. And I'm not going to necessarily take it all the way in to the edge, to this edge right here, maybe about 1/8 inch away. And I'm guesstimating, guys, so you know, it's not brain surgery.
Don't you love the word guesstimate?
I love guesstimate. Guesstimate's my life.
That is a cool word.
Okay, now you can see, okay, well that got a little close. You want to make sure this fold doesn't hang over, but it's fine. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and on the piece that we folded over, that's the side we're going to glue, because if you start gluing over here, you can get onto your other papers. Yeah. So I'm just going to use glue. Again, you can use glue, you can use score tape.
And Donna said you could, you're right, score tape, glue. Donna suggested the tiny attacher.
Oh,
sew it. There's
perfect.
so many different
I like
so
the
many
tiny
different
attacher.
attachment.
Absolutely. Oh, I like that. Tiny attacher. That's good. And we're just going to hold that. Again, now, if you noticed, this is kind of popping up. So I'm going to take my binder
Those
clips.
clips are handy. Even if you had the small ones,
Yep.
it would work well.
I'm just taking some binder clips and making sure, again, because this is really heavy duty, just gonna make sure that that's gonna stick. I'm gonna put that off to the side, and then we're gonna take our base piece. I'm going to take my 1.5 inch circle punch, and I'm gonna punch a divot in the top of the pocket. So I'm just gonna take this. I forget whose YouTube channel I was watching. They did this. They took a Sharpie marker and marked the middle of the circle. I was like, oh, that's
nice.
smart. I like that. So if you're one of those, like I am, I mean, and this, I'm just going to eyeball this, and it really doesn't matter how deep. I mean, I like a shallow kind of a thumb punch, and I'm just going to punch it.
And it goes flying.
Okay, this piece that I just punched off would be so cute to glue on here. We're going to do that.
You need to do that.
We'll do that.
You can do that, and I'll just show them.
Yep.
We do have the 1.5 inch circle punches. You could probably use a 1 1/4.
Yep,
You know, if you
a
don't have
2
the
inch.
1.5.
I like using a 2 inch.
Use what you have. This is $16.99. We have lots of punches. We carry all the basic shapes. And Cindy, actually, punches are kind of my favorite thing. I probably use them more than I do dies. Just because
yes.
you can grab it. It's for basic things like this.
Now that piece that I pushed out, or that I punched out, I'm going to just.
Don't waste a thing.
Nope. I'm just going to put it right on there.
Well, that's cute.
And we'll put it over to the side and let it dry. All right. So now we've got our top. We've got our pocket. And this is easy because you've got your thumb, so you know exactly what sides to put the glue on. Again, if you want to use score tape, if you want to sew them. Yes, I've made some where I've sewn them. If you again, just glue, whatever. Again, whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy. There we go. And then I'm going to line it up. See, I did it wrong.
Oh, it's not diagonal, but that's okay.
It's not horizontal.
I mean horizontal, but that's okay.
I goofed.
That's okay. We're making it vertical. We changed our mind.
Yeah, there we go. We'll go with that. See, I picked it up in the wrong place. I picked it up and held it with the wrong fingers. Do
That's okay.
Strange things. Okay, so there's our pocket.
I still like the stripes like that on the front. I think that looks kind of cool.
And then, if it's bare, you could take some of the ephemera pieces and put it on here, or the washi tape, or again, you can decorate all of these on the stripes. So then we're going to take these off. We're going to fold this up. Here's our little piece. We're going to put this in here. We're going to slide it in here. And then here's our piece, number 4.
So show it in your book here, Cindy, number 4. I think it's really cool how you attached it to the page.
So again, I attached it to the page on 2 corners, the one long side and the bottom, as a corner spot. I've got tags in here, or you could put whatever behind here. And this is one of the pieces of washi tape, because
yes, it is.
I tore it not straight, so I just slapped it on there, and that's a technical term.
Then some ephemera.
And then another little piece of ephemera from the package, and put it on there. But that's how it looks in the book. Again, here. It's right here. It's a piece off there. I made it too long.
She had too much.
I made it too long.
So I over here.
And that's Santa. That's Santa's arm right there.
Oh my gosh.
So that's number 4. And then
let's review each one.
And then this is number 1.
Okay, so here's number 1 that we made. So you can kind of see how it flips over her page.
Yep, and I held it down.
And these little binder clips, those are from Tim Holtz, and you get quite a few in a package.
Yes,
and we do have those. Or you can use a paper clip, or
whatever.
Lots of things.
You bet. And so we have number 4. We have number 1. we have number 3. Again, it's a sign, and I happen to use it on the same side. You wouldn't have to, but when you're planning that out, if you wanted this on this other side, your things are going to be more in the middle, or you could turn this around when you're when you're planning it. Again, if it's not directional, doesn't matter, but if you're planning it, if you want that torn edge to be off on the left side to do it, then you could do it that way. So there's number 3. Here's where it is. Again, it's a tuck spot with the little piece in here.
I think that, Cindy, that's what's so neat about your projects is I feel like you open it, you've got this little piece comes out, and then this pulls over, and then this goes underneath of it.
I like to make them interactive.
Lots of different pieces and lots of moving parts, I guess is the good way to describe it.
And then here's number 2. Again, I made it a tuck spot. I opened it up. I've taken some of the pieces and made, this is, just other paper that I've made, because you've seen there's some other things in here. Made it a tuck spot as well. Now, we don't want to waste anything, so this is the only piece that we have left, right, guys?
Yeah,
oh no, we're not going to throw it away.
What are you doing with that?
No, we're not going to throw it away.
So we have one little scrap left.
We have a scrap that's 1-ish inch, actually, by 5. And what I'm going to do is we will throw away these little pieces, and what I'll do, and if I was at home, I have some washi tape that I would hold this down, because it's
good idea, because when you are cutting
skinny and I can't get underneath to hold it, and then I'll start in the middle and then work. So now it's a straight cut. I will throw this away.
Okay.
A lot of people wouldn't. I'll take one for the team. I'll throw that away.
Cindy, Elaine said, great project. Corey would be proud. She must follow Corey also.
Oh, thank you.
Isn't it nice that Cindy's sharing all this with us? I just love it.
It's so awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut this. I'm going to cut this like maybe 2 3/4 inches. So 2 1/2, because it's a 5-inch long, so 2 1/2 would be in half. I don't want them the same length. So I'm going to cut one at 2 3/4, and one is going to be in 2 1/4. And we're going to make little tags out of here.
Oh, fun.
And where are my scissors? I thought they were here. There they are.
You're a very neat crafter, I have to tell you.
I'm just looking, and I'm eyeballing these guys. So they are not going to be.
They are loving your tip about the washi tape.
I could take this and try to hold it, but it's like, no.
You're making little tiny cuts.
I'm taking, and actually at home, and I forgot to bring it. I have an old. Come on, Cindy. Think. Gift card that I've made as my tag. My tag template.
I think you showed us that.
My tag template, and I have different sizes on different corners, and I have it marked.
And we also have the slanted edge punch.
Yes.
That you could use.
Yep. And I will use those as well. But so now I've got a couple tags, and guess where these are going to go?
I'm very curious. I have no idea. Oh, up there.
There you go. You got a couple tags.
You just have don't throw anything away.
No, don't throw anything.
So really, Cindy, this is all we have left, right? Or
that and
these little triangle pieces.
And
there's our scraps from the whole sheet.
Yep, or you could take these and put them in number 2, and put them in here. Whatever you want to do. So, but yeah, this is where I've put the other ones. Is I've put them in this little pocket up here.
Cindy, people are loving this. It's so wonderful that you're here today, and I just want to tell you thank you for sharing this with
thank you so
all
much
of us here at Memory Bound.
And if you're, like I say, if you're in the store, these will be here. I'm leaving them for Kelly and the team to have to look at. Again, corn around them, don't corn around them.
Ink them,
ink them, don't exactly. Exactly. Make it your own.
Cindy, how about you do you?
Yes, you do you. Absolutely. To coin Tim.
Okay.
You do you.
Okay, and then can you tell us one more time the YouTube person that you watch? Corey, Corey
Dahman. is her name. Dahmen is her name, and her YouTube channel I think is called Creating with Scraps.
Creating with Scraps. Oh,
And
that's a good title.
And her aesthetic is a lot like mine. She does vintage. She does. She loves Tim Holtz. She does. All these types of things. And she's actually the one who I saw this and went, oh, this is this. I know some people that would absolutely love this. So anyway,
and that is all of us here at Memory Bound, and we do love it, Cindy, and we loved having you come in today.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Ginormous thank you. If I could play like a bunch of loud applause, I would do that right now. But I don't think I could. I don't think I could get off of this. And Elaine, thank you. Elaine just put Corey's name in.
Perfect.
And the Creating with Scraps. So we have it in writing now. You can go back and refer to it.
Yep.
Janice said, thank you. You've made her laugh and had so many aha ideas. She's going to rewatch with a pen and notebook and write down the steps.
And Kelly will put this is
show us what we're going to put a picture of.
Well, and
without the post-it.
Without my post-it. Oh, here, let me turn it around.
We're going the other direction.
Without my post-it, and my post-it notes are my directions. But here's what it'll look like. There is a piece on that Corey does where she takes another diagonal piece. I didn't want to have to add any more paper, so I did not put on. But it makes the back of the flip another like little pocket up here.
Oh, and really, Cindy, I think you could take all of these and work off of them.
Right.
And, you could add more flips and ephemera and
papers and
gems and jewels and nouveau drops and it's a good starting point.
I just wanted to show them this so if they see this on the page, they're like, "What? Cindy didn't show that." That's what this is.
Wait, Cindy didn't.
That's what. And then this is that 2-inch offcut that we made we made this for.
Mary, one of our regulars, says Corey's her friend and used to be her neighbor.
Oh,
that's
awesome!
Gonna be jealous now.
Really, girl, I love Corey. She's made ink boxes for me. I've got 2 of them. I love them. Yes, she's awesome.
That'd be really cool to know her personally.
Oh, I know, right? I'm so.
Cindy,
I'm so happy for you,
Cindy, and you have inspired a lot of people also, just like Corey. Susan said she can't wait to go and make them. Janet said gave you 5 stars.
5? Wow.
I don't know if anyone's given us stars before.
Well,
that's 5 stars.
That's awesome.
And this will be on our blog next week. And I've taken pictures, and Janet will have pictures, including this sheet here.
I wanted to show you that this is where I've marked where that original one was to score at 7 inches, but I did it at 6 3/4, and it's written in pencil.
We call that Cindyizing.
Yes, so I Cindyized it, and you'll see this mark that says 3 5/8. That's if you score it from this end, from the bottom end up, as opposed to the 8 and 3/8 that we scored from the top down. So if you see that, don't let it confuse you. Don't let it confuse you.
Well, and you can always let us know if you have questions. And
absolutely.
Cindy, thank you again so much for being
you're
here
welcome.
today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Happy Friday to everybody. We'll be back on Monday. And I don't know what's on our calendar, but I know there's something. And if there isn't, there will be. So have a wonderful weekend. I hope that you can come in and see us if you're in the area.
Happy crafting.